Time traveling, ancient Egypt, and a talking toaster. How could anything possibly go wrong? Welcome to Professor Whiskers and the time-traveling toaster. Our intrepid heroes are preparing for their next adventure. Today, they're off to see the pyramids of Egypt. Civilization, mystery, and possibly gluten, says Whiskers excitedly. The toaster remarks that it's finally a culture classy enough to worship bread properly. I have a bad feeling about this, says Whiskers, but the toaster is already smugly surveying his new domain. At last, a people sophisticated enough to appreciate my true worth. Just look at these peasants. They already think I'm a god. As they pass through the portal, we see that Egypt is hot, very hot, and being small, the toaster doesn't have a great view of the pyramids in the distance. They land with a poof of sand, and the toaster immediately announces, "Behold, the first worshippers of the one true bread god." A group of Egyptian villagers are indeed staring at him intently. They drop their tools and kneel before him. A priest cries out, "Behold, the golden box of Ra has appeared before us." So the crowd starts chanting, "Praise the bread god, praise the golden box of Ra." The toaster beams with pride. See, Whiskers, even in ancient times, all roads lead to the greatness that is toast. Whiskers face palms as he hears this. A pharaoh enters with a procession of guards and sees the toaster. "O divine bread god, grant us a sign of your power," he commands. The toaster adopts a dramatic voice and says, "Very well, behold," and pops a piece of toast. The slice lands perfectly in the pharaoh's lap and the court cheers wildly. "The food of the gods," the pharaoh gasps and faints dramatically. Meanwhile, Whiskers mutters under his breath, "They're losing their minds over slightly burned bread." The Egyptians decide to build a temple in the toaster's honor. They start hauling stones to create a gigantic monument in the shape of a toaster. Priests fan the toaster with palm leaves while it basks in its glory. "Higher, higher on the left," the toaster says, directing them. "More gold, less sand, please." Whiskers looks around and realizes if this continues, Egypt's entire history will be buttered. An overly enthusiastic guard walks past and overhears Whiskers' comment. "Silence, cat," he says, grabbing Whiskers by the scruff of his neck. "You shall serve the bread god forever," and ties him up in a giant basket made of bread. "I hate it when they do that," says Whiskers dejectedly. He wriggles free and hops onto the pedestal where the toaster is sitting. He spots the lever and realizes it's the only way to escape. With a mighty heave, he pulls it down. "If anyone's going to toast history, it's me," he shouts as he throws the toaster into the portal. As the Egyptians stare in awe at the exploding portal, believing it to be the power of their god, the pharaoh drops to his knees and cries out, "The bread, God ascends to the heavens." Whiskers and the toaster disappear into the portal just as the first rays of sunlight hit the lever. Back in the lab, they crash land with a thump. The toaster pops out and lands perfectly on top of a pyramid-shaped piece of toast. "Well, that was easy," says Whiskers, panting heavily. The toaster preens, basking in the glow of his victory. Of course, it was the pharaoh's devotion that made it all possible. "Ha, ha, the toast of the town, am I right?" Whiskers groans and shakes his head. "I am getting a new toaster." Out in space, an astronaut holds up a piece of toast in front of a rocket ship. "Next time, toast on the moon," the text reads.